A few months ago, I set off a bit of a bonfire in my comments when I uploaded a video called "Is Air Canada as bad as they say?" There have been a lot of salty takes arguing that Air Canada is absolutely terrible, or indeed that it's the very best that you can get. As a reminder, I usually sit somewhere in the middle with a 5.5 out of 10 rating for international economy class. Well, I'm back in Vancouver, British Columbia, and about to set off on Air Canada once again. This time I'm taking it up a small notch, travelling in premium economy with Air Canada from here in Vancouver over to London Heathrow. Join me to discover if this experience is an improvement or simply more of the same. One of my gripes about Air Canada is all of the effort that they go to demonise carry-on baggage, particularly rolly bags. I think there's a script that gate agents seem to use on a consistent basis, saying this is a 100% sold out flight. And please could 20 to 25 volunteers come forward to check along their full-size check-in. I call those rolly bags. Inevitably, very few people show up as volunteers, and the language becomes ever so slightly threatening that if you're in zones 3 to 5, that's economy, that your bags will be put in the sizer and you may have to check them at the gate. I just flew to Vancouver a few days ago from Los Angeles, and that was pretty much exactly the script that I heard. Today, I've got a roll-on bag and a regular backpack, both within standard sizing limits, so I'm not intending to check anything here at Air Canada check-in. Hopefully, I don't come to regret that at the gate. The first benefit for premium economy passengers is that they get to use priority check-in here at Vancouver Airport. Air Canada promises priority baggage handling, so you can expect your bag to come off first at the other end if that's something that you care about. However, there's no fast-track security, so I'm off to line up at the regular line. Excuse me. For security, I'm already checked in. Do I go this way for London Heathrow?
London to get the left-hand side, so follow D security, D for Delta.
Okay.
Go straight first, and then before the food court, turn left, like 3 minutes walk from here.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much. I think that's the fastest ever I've gone through security here at Vancouver International. And I think it's because my flight time, which is 6:25, it's one of the first in a big wave of international flights that are going out at a similar time. The fact that I got here early was probably quite a good idea. Plenty of time to browse the shops and get something to eat. This part of Vancouver International Airport, the D gates, serves international flights, and it has a decent mix of practical amenities and places you can chill out while you're waiting. There's the usual duty-free shops and some retail stores in case you need to pick up anything before you leave, as well as quite a few dining options, mostly focused on fast food, but there's some spots that have more substantial meals. If you have lounge access, there's a SkyTeam lounge near gate D53, while there's a Plaza Premium lounge at gate D67 with the usual seating, food and drinks. There's art too, like this giant art installation that reflects the region's culture, and found that there were charging stations at the gate that I was using, as well as free Wi-Fi throughout the area. Those who need a quiet zone will find it near gate D67. I'm expecting today's flight to be on board a Boeing 777. Everyone's pretty early for the flight. We're about 2 hours ahead, and the gate area is already busy. So people have clearly taken it seriously to arrive early and get through security early. Not a bad idea.
Bonjour et bienvenue sur le vol Air Canada 860 à destination de London Heathrow. And boarding in a few moments. We will be boarding this flight by zone. Kindly remain seated until your zone has been crossed. Please have your photo identification open and boarding passes ready for presentation. Thank you for your cooperation. Priority boarding is available on this flight. At this time, we invite customers in Zone 1 and 2 to board now.
Hi, how are you today? Thank you very much. Have a good one. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you were going to change your mind. I said, no.
It was actually a lot longer to get. First out.
Hi, 13C.
13C, first out, please.
Thanks.
And we're on board. Although this business class cabin looks quite small, the seats do look comfortable. In the premium economy section, there's only 3 rows, and they're in a 2-4-2 configuration. As people settle in, I find there's plenty of room for both my bags in the overhead bin. So I settle into my aisle seat to see what it's like.
My first impressions are it's a little bit tighter than I expected in premium economy, but it generally seems pretty comfortable. Let's have a look at what the seat has to offer.
There seems to be a problem with the IFE screen at the moment. It's not reacting to taps. I tried to reboot it, but I don't think I can do anything with it. Let's have a look around the seat. There's pretty decent legroom here. There's the usual pocket for storing an iPad or book. Down here on the left-hand side, each seat benefits from its own socket. And this footrest flips down. I find those quite useful for sleeping. And thank goodness there's individual air. A bottle of water has been left on this little drinks tray for each person in premium economy to enjoy. Then there's the amenity kit. It doesn't seem like the usual zip bag. There's also this blanket wrapped in plastic and a small pillow. It's not of the particularly floofy kind, I'm afraid. For the IFE screen, there's an individual remote control. Alright, let's have a look at this amenity kit. When I open this out, it appears to be a tote bag. It's not fantastic quality, but it does seem like it might be quite strong, so we'll take that. Let's see what's inside the bag. There's a couple of things here. An eye mask, earplugs, those are handy, a dental kit, and these are socks. Generally, socks on a plane are of terrible quality, not anything that you want to keep. I go back to the IFE and it's still spinning. There's a nice little menu here. Celeriac salad to start, chicken parmigiana or beef shepherd's pie as your main, and a brownie for dessert. That sounds quite good. Then the crew come around with orange or water. There's some final preparations before we can leave. The plane needs to be de-iced before we can set off. I do have somebody sitting beside me in the window seat, so forgive the quality of the footage as I try to film us taking off. Very quickly, the crew come around with a hot towel. I appreciate a hot towel, but little amuses the innocent. Let's see what else is coming. Barely an hour into the flight, and the dinner service begins with this drink and a small bag of pretzels. And then I decided to go for the shepherd's pie. It looked okay, not that appetizing. The celeriac salad looks fine. The brownie's very small, and there's a little dinner roll with butter as well. I do like this little salt and pepper set. Air Canada making an effort with the presentation. I have to be honest with you, that celeriac salad tasted like it was off, as in tasted of mould. Really terrible. My hopes of watching an after-dinner movie, or honestly, a map more likely, killed off by a non-functioning IFE. Let's check out the toilet in this 777-300. It has the classic opening window in the toilet, which is always lots of fun. I don't know why my hair has managed to survive. There's some decent hand wash and hand lotion here. And a nice falling leaf motif. Everything else is pretty much as you would expect it. A standard onboard toilet with not that much room. It's back to the seat. Cabin crew have come along and promised that they're going to restart the IFE. It's not affecting just me, there's a couple of seats that have the same problem. But it's starting to become pretty wearing at this point. What exactly did I pay the extra price for premium economy for? Certainly there should be a minimum standard of the IFE working, or perhaps being offered an alternative seat where the IFE is working. There seem to be no creative solutions available, and perhaps there was no alternative to, sorry, your screen doesn't work. After a couple of hours of trying to get some sleep, the aircraft windows flickered into life, and dawn appeared over the eastern Atlantic. It was time for breakfast. On offer was a piece of cranberry lemon loaf and a raspberry yogurt. I'm not sure that cake is the healthiest option available. I don't think there was any other option available. Along came some coffee and an orange juice, which I was pleased to see. While my neighbour went to the bathroom, I held the camera up to the window. Those blue skies are a very welcome sight. After a conversation with the purser, I was brought this onboard compensation request form. To be fair to the purser, they filled out as much of the information as they could. A small amount of compensation in the form of a voucher for a future Air Canada flight did come through via email much later. I didn't feel incredibly enthusiastic about spending a voucher. I'd rather have had a discount on the flight that was problematic. Do airlines ever do that? And so we started to descend out of the clouds and towards London Heathrow on a cloudy but bright day.
Thanks and bye.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Bye-bye. And so, we've landed safely here in London Heathrow. Did any part of that flight with Air Canada change your mind about the airline? I've possibly a different set of pros and cons than I had before.
Here's some quick pros and cons of Air Canada Premium Economy. The pros: there was good legroom in the Premium Economy seat, the flight was on time with minimal turbulence, and some of the ground staff in Vancouver were friendly. On the other hand, the IFE did not function at all. The premium editions, like the amenity kit, were low grade. The menu promised much, but delivered poor quality. Some of the crew members were unfriendly. And I think compensation should be a spendable voucher, not a discount on future Air Canada travel. I upgraded from an economy flex ticket and bid £225, which was successful.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Planet Patrick from here in London Heathrow. I have a small channel, so it would make a big difference if you'd subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, or indeed like or share this particular video. Until the next one, take care. Bye bye.